We are recording, and here we go. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 816. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Thank you very much for downloading and subscribing to the show. Please visit the main website at miketechshow.com. That's where you can find everything, all the show notes, all the links. You can email me questions and suggestions for show topics at miketechshow@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube videos, and that's just at Michael Smith MTS. So youtube.com/Michael Smith MTS, and please click subscribe. This show is brought to you by Instant House Call for robust support. For if you're an IT pro or an MSP, Instant House Call is your solution, providing unattended and on-demand remote access. And you can get it for free and try it out by clicking on the link on my website at miketechshow.com, or just go directly to instanthouseCall.com. Don't forget to use the promo code MikeTechShow for your free 15-day trial. The show is also brought to you by MagnusBox, the best online backup service for your clients. They only sell to partners, not to end users. You can try to kick the tires, test it out. Go to magnusbox.com. When you experience the trial, you're getting the same features as all the paying partners. They now have Office 365 backup. They're HIPAA compliant. Mention you heard them. You heard about MagnusBox on the Mike Tech Show. You'll get free white labeling for your company and 50% off the first 3 months of the platform fee. You got to check it out. It's great. You heard me last week talk about the recovery from my client who's just so happy. All right. Great show for tonight. I have lots to go over. We're going to talk about File and Folder Maker, a nasty Visio install problem that I ran into that I'm sure a lot of you are going to relate to, with just the horrible way Microsoft handles the installs for Office. A Surface Pro tip, an Outlook font tip, and Microsoft ISO download tool, and a couple warnings when you try to get a Windows 7 ISO. Cannot get that anymore. All right. So for the first link, and this comes about because of the post-show last week. Taz, moderator in the chat, says, Mike, why don't you just change the color of files that has the F-bomb? Because what happened, I really don't like playing songs that have curse words in it. So one of the challenges, when I go to pick a song, I forget. So Taz recommended, Mike, why don't you highlight all the songs with some curse words in them so you don't accidentally play it, and make it red. Now, you can't do that in the native operating system, but there are free programs that can handle this. And not only that, but how about the folder, and change folder icons and mark them? This is so cool. So the first two links for tonight are for filemarker.net and folder marker. Let's do file marker. And I'm displaying this on the screen, but don't worry. Once you install it, you then can right-click on any file and mark it high priority, low priority, planned work, done work, approved, rejected, change the color. And then you even get to pick more icons, and it's so easy, so cool. And I started changing some of the icons, especially for some real priority files that I have, and some files. I started going through some of the music. Boy, that is a real task. Marking songs that I have, because I'm a big alternative fan, and let's face it, there's a lot of some bad language, and some of it I'm so used to. And here's what happened last week. I played a song that I have downloaded that I hear on the radio on 97X down here in the Tampa area, and they don't allow cursing. They play the radio version. And so what happened to me, I just naturally played that song, and it's like, oops, wait a second. The real song has adult language. Now, I'm using that as an example. I'm sure you got several examples as to why you would want to color a file. So I think that's pretty cool. How about folders? This is awesome. I am now using this for high priority, normal priority, and how about work that's pending? You can change the folder icon so just by right-clicking on the folder. They become part of the Windows shell. So you can just highlight a folder, right-click, and they're free. I like this for organizing my files just a little more, organizing my folders just a little bit. I think these are two great downloads and links for tonight's show that you want to definitely check them out. Now, they have paid versions, and I have not explored what the paid version gives you that the free version doesn't. So don't worry. I would like, just check it out. All right. So next, a couple things from the trenches that I had to help clients this week. I have a client, actually, she's in Maine, and emailed me with a little panic. Her Surface Pro 3 froze, just completely froze. Now, I knew there was a special key combination, that there's a special combo that you got to do to unfreeze it. And I just couldn't remember exactly what it was, but a little Google, and I was able to get the combination, and that will be the third link for tonight. And you want to hold the power button down for 30 seconds. Then hold the volume up and the power button simultaneously for 20 seconds. You'll feel the device vibrate. Let go, wait 10 seconds, press the power button again, boom, you're running. And that's exactly what happened when I walked my client through that, called her, and I was like, boy, anybody with a Surface Pro or managing or supporting someone with a Surface Pro, great tip. Here's another tip that is another link. Client has Outlook 2010 and needs the folders, not all the folders, some of the folders, to be able to control the font size and the spacing. Well, this tip works for 2010 Outlook 2010, Outlook 2016, and 2013. And I have the exact instructions here. You click on the File menu, then Options link, and in the Options window, click the Advanced tab, and then navigate to Outlook pane section. Once you do that, you can check all of the folders, all the core folders that you want to change, and then click the font button, and that's it. You can pick it. And now all your folders in Outlook 2010, the navigation pane, will be reflected in the change of the font size. So pretty cool. Nice little tip. And I was able to get that working for a client. I'm going to take a couple moments to talk about a download program that I use for getting all of the ISOs. It's heidoc.net. Then you got to navigate to the technology and science section, and there's a Microsoft Windows and Office ISO download tool. Pretty cool. So Taz reached out to me a couple days ago and said, Mike, I need a Windows 7 ISO. I'm like, no problem. I sent him the link to this. He just informed me, and I remember reading this. Microsoft has completely stopped any Windows 7 ISOs. You can't get them anymore. And that is sad. What if you have to redo a system? I know Windows 7 is not supported. I understand that. It's like Windows XP. I still have 2 Windows XP systems I support because there's software that will not run, not even in compatibility mode, not even, I don't have it on the internet. And it's just on the network, and both of them are these custom printing. One of them, it's the only way that they can print checks from this older software that's not being updated, and it will not run on any newer operating system. So there are special cases where you may have to reinstall an older operating system. I think you should still be able to get the media for that. Now, I'm going to try to look in my vast collection of different media and try to, hook Taz up with an ISO for Windows 7. But this tool clearly works for everything else, which segues into my problem. I have the family version, even though it's just for me, of Microsoft Office 365, where you can put it on 5 different systems. And I have been using that for years. I pay the $99 a year. Well, I have that installed on the 2 Beast computers, so this way I'm the exact version of Office on both systems, the one up in Pennsylvania and the one here in Florida. I have a couple projects that I need to use Visio. So I got an inexpensive key that, well, I guess it's legitimate, and now that is for that is for Visio 2016 Pro. So I grabbed the ISO just for Visio. Download it. It even downloads as Visio 2016 Retail. And it's an image. And I click on it and then click Setup. I didn't like the box. I really didn't like it. It came up and just installed, and it took a while. It doesn't tell you what it's installing. It completely installed and overwrote, which it's not supposed to, my Office 365. I ended up with Office, I downgraded to Office 2016. Visio worked fine, but my Outlook completely changed, and all of a sudden, none of the passwords worked, and I'm redoing it. I open Word. I'm like, oh no, what happened here? The only way to get back to my normal operation, I had to completely uninstall Office. Uninstalled it, rebooted, reinstalled Office 365 from the click to run when you log in to install Office on the machine, and everything went back to normal. But now I'm Googling and searching, and we've even been chatting in the pre-show here tonight. How do you install Visio 2016 side by side with Office 365? I don't think you can. There's a couple instructions that I found, and no, they're incorrect. They are wrong. And any image that I get has Office 2016 in it. I don't want that. So here's what I'm asking. Can someone provide me a link to just Vizio where there's nothing else that I can download, that it's only Vizio 2016? I have the key. It will activate. But I don't want it messing up my Office 365. I don't understand this and why I can't own Vizio, or for that matter, luckily I don't even have to what if I want Project? What if I want Project 2016 to be side by side with my Office 365? Or for that matter, what if I had Office 2019? I don't want it disrupting my Office install. Or at least give me the option. Tell me what you're doing. Don't just do it and downgrade it. Give me the option. And I see that it's, maybe I can stop the install because maybe it's grayed out and it's going to change all my Office programs. Or I should have the ability to tick and uncheck all of the programs that I don't want. And for that matter, why are they even doing that? Why don't they just have Vizio as Vizio and nothing else? You know what I might need? Is there such a thing as just a plain Vizio disc that we can get an ISO of and it's not going to have Office included in it? I just want Vizio. And have you been part of this? What has been your experience? And has anybody resolved this? Please email me, miketechshow@gmail.com. Be greatly appreciative of that. All right. I have one email for tonight. And this is from Bill. Just a quick note. It seems you have a lot of workstation servers. Yes, I do. For those, I buy Precision workstations with RAID 1. I'm going to pause right there. Bill, in a perfect world with my clients, yes, I would like that. And I would recommend that. And I do have a client that paid the money for that. But they don't want to spend the money. So if it is a server, he continues, it should have RAID, which it does, but this one doesn't. If you need any Dell help, I have a great sales rep that I can refer. I have great sales reps too. I get a good discount from years of doing business with Dell. I just ordered one for a phone server with 32 gig, a pair of 512 SSDs. I often add a third spinning drive for backup. I'll never, ever, ever do that because of what I went through last week. An Core i7, 3650 tower, and his cost was just a little over $2,000. And he has the warranty, which he listed below, which that's great. And I will push that harder, I think. So this way, if you're at least RAID 1, the disks are mirrored, and if one drive fails, you can keep going until, after hours or something, just replace the one drive with the other. And in a server environment, we do that all the time, have no problem. But I'll tell you, we're seeing less and less real physical servers, and more the pure workstation, and that's only because they have special software that has to be installed, that has to run. If they don't need any software, that it's just pure file, well, Synology. And of course, we use the RAID with the Synology, and that's perfect. So, yes, a lesson here, and I mentioned that to the client, that they would have saved some money and some downtime if we had RAID. And RAID does not replace backup. Remember that. Now, I know a lot of you understand that, but there are a lot of listeners who they do not understand. They think that just because you have RAID, that's a backup. And no, it is not, and it does not substitute for one or replace. RAID is just for fault tolerance. It's to get you by if one of the drives crashes. That's it. It's not for recovery. It's not for restoring files. So just keep that in the back of your mind. RAID is good where the client would not have had any downtime. Still have to replace the drive, and you still got to do that with the system down, but now you can do that after hours. So, good email. Thank you, Bill. I really appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's responses. And just a couple reminders. If you are not signed up yet for the Mike Tech Show Discord channel, go to the main website, miketechshow@gmail.com, and click on the link to join the Discord forum. This is where all of the Mike Tech Show forums are and discussions, and we're really picking up steam where there's more and more listeners signing up. Don't miss out. Be part of that. And when you sign up, remember, go to introduce yourself. There's a introduce yourself forum. Just say, hey, this is me. I've been listening, just started listening to the Mike Tech Show. Want to join. This way we know you're not a robot and we can promote you for access to the rest of the forums. It's the only reason we're doing that. It's our, the robot test, making me think of, what is it, the Geico commercial with the robot there, and he's having trouble with the Capaccia signs. I hate that. It always takes me 2-3 tries for that. Can't stand it. But that's a great commercial with the frustration that everybody has, I know. So that is it for tonight's show. Short and sweet. Got a lot of great utilities. I think you want to try the file maker and the folder not file maker. See, that's on the brain. I have a client with file maker software. File marker, folder marker. And don't forget, check out Fab's Auto Backup for moving all of your settings and files from one system to another. Don't forget, support Instant House Call and, of course, Magnus Box for all of your backup needs. That's it. See you next week. Everybody have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.